They handed me my redundancy notice on November 28th. My annual bonus was due on December 1st, exactly 3 working days later. I had been with the company for 6 years. The bonus scheme was baked right into my contract, a strict legal obligation, not a discretionary holiday envelope. I had demonstrably hit every performance metric required for the payout that year. The financial sum owed to me was going to be significant. In the highly calculated environment of corporate finance, a 3-day margin is never an accident. It is a deliberate equation. The redundancy notice arrived completely out of the blue on a Tuesday. The official justification they gave was that my role was being eliminated due to a routine, unavoidable department restructuring. When pressed on the timing, the company held a firm line. They claimed the restructure had been planned for months, and the fact that it landed right before my payout date was simply an unfortunate coincidence. Knowing a corporate theft is happening is entirely different from being able to legally prove it in an employment tribunal. To forensically test their defense, we look at the wider department. A total of 4 people were let go that week. 2 of those individuals failed to meet their performance thresholds. They weren't owed a bonus regardless of when they were fired. The 3rd individual had already voluntarily resigned and was merely serving out a mandatory notice period. That isolated my situation completely. I was the singular anomaly in the group, the only one who stood to lose an imminent massive payout. The data shows that the departmental restructure was a statistical cover for a single targeted cost reduction. My solicitor identified this as a potential case of automatic unfair dismissal. This is a specific legal concept covering dismissals timed explicitly to avoid a contractual entitlement. But the burden of proof is immense. The employee has to prove malicious intent. Defeating the company required legally piercing the veil of corporate jargon to uncover the actual decision-making process happening in the background. To do that, we used a legal mechanism known as disclosure. We forced the company to hand over their highly sensitive internal planning documents. This timeline visualizes the internal communications and planning spreadsheets. The moment they arrived, we bypassed the public PR narrative and found the private truth. The documents revealed the initial restructure date was actively pushed backward in September. Then, the internal emails showed the timeline was intentionally delayed a second time in October. The shifting dates were mathematically engineered to land exactly on November 28th, mere hours before the December 1st payout. The timeline clearly demonstrates that the company's coincidence defense was a documented, deliberate effort to move the date. In the employment tribunal, the company's legal team was forced to sit in front of a judge and answer for their own adjusted spreadsheets. Faced with the tracked timeline adjustments, their defense collapsed instantly. The final ruling awarded me the unpaid bonus in its entirety, supplemented by heavy additional compensation for unfair dismissal. The irony of their hubris is sharp. Their calculated attempt to save money through fraud forced them to pay out significantly more than if they had simply honored the contract. Corporate greed is often a matter of precise math, deliberate, cold, and hidden within the machinery of the company. But those corporate machines are operated by human beings, and human operators inevitably leave behind a trail of digital footprints and paper records. If you are ever facing an employer who times a dismissal or contract change with suspicious precision, ask for the documents. They will always reveal the truths the authors intended to bury.